Hey, I'm Jon Thelen. Today I'm Fish Head, doing some basin trolling. It's headed into late summer, and you know, this is that time of the year where the walleyes all move out into basins, and they do it on lakes all over the Midwest. And there's tips and tricks to catching them, and you know what? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're just going to work through how to figure out how to catch these fish when they move off structure and head out, scatter in the basin. When you get them dialed in, I'll tell you what, you can catch a lot of fish and you can catch big fish as well. So stay right where you're at. Fish Head's coming up. There's one right there, guys. Look at that. Oh, yeah, feels like a pretty good one, bud. All right. That's a decent fish. You know, Leadcore is pretty cool because you can take a shallow diving crank, and I switched over to this shallow diving Bandit. It's a Bandit Walleye Shallow is what it actually is. But what you can do is you can take a bait that normally dives 8 to 12 feet like that bait, and you can put it down out here in this 33 feet of water that we're fishing, and you can get it down because Leadcore, for every color of Leadcore you let out, it's gonna go down 5 feet at 2 miles an hour. Okay, now I'm using line counters. We do that for a reason. Nate and I have been going back and forth today talking about, you know, where we're at, how much line you got out. We start by putting out somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 colors of line, okay, of Leadcore. And once we do that, we know we're gonna be getting down about 30 feet. But then the line counter reel really allows you to make adjustments. And 5 feet at a time is where I go. If I'm not hitting bottom, I'll drop 5 feet down and we'll see if we hit bottom. If we're still not hitting bottom, we'll go another 5 foot, but I go in 5 foot increments. And that really allows you to get dialed in on exactly how deep you're putting that lure. And one thing about the body of water where I'm fishing today, this is dirty water. When you're fishing a stained colored water, you really, I'm gonna slow down a little bit, pretty good fish. You really wanna work to have your lure as close to the fish as possible. Most of the fish we're fishing today are a foot off the bottom. So I'm running these lures foot and a half off the bottom. I mean, putting it right in their face, and we're able to do that because of pulling Leadcore. Pretty good fish. Yeah, we're gonna have you net them right out the back through there, and I'll tell you what, it's a good one. Unless he's just hooked funny and spinning. But I feel like the way he fought me a couple times there, fighting back, yeah, there he is. He's a pretty good fish. Yeah, we can see him back there just under the surface. This is when you just want to be really, really careful. No big pulls, no big anything. I mean, just make sure of him. I'm gonna bring him right up to, oh yeah, look at that, it's a giant. It's a big eye, giant fish. I'm gonna come right to you now, buddy. I'll bring him right to you. You just get underneath him so we don't get that lure. Look at that, giant eye, giant eye. Wow. Look at this. Let's do this. Nate, let me grab this pliers. Look at that. That's it right there. I'm gonna hoist this fish out. I'm gonna show her to you. Look at how fat this fish is. Wow, that is a giant. That is one of the biggest walleyes I have gotten in a long time. It's not super long. I'll bet it's 28, but I'll tell you what, it is just a giant fat fish. Look at that. Let me throw this fish back, and then I'm gonna show you the lures we're using to catch these fish.
Nice fish, Jon.
Yeah, that's awesome, man, because you can come and do this. I mean, this is great. What a big walleye that is. All right, big girl, there you go. One thing I'll tell you about letting a fish go, you can see how I let that fish go. When you're trolling like this and you're moving, don't try to set them down on their belly and think that they're gonna swim away. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll roll over on you, and then you gotta turn around and go back and get them. Best thing you can do is torpedo them down just like I did there. Let them go nose first, because it's like it wakes them up and all of a sudden they know to just take off. I'm gonna show you the lures I'm using. This is a Bandit Shallow, okay? It's a walleye shallow. What this lure is gonna do for you is give you a big rattle, 3 hooks, okay? And they're sticky, man. I'll tell you what, I've had them in my hands more times than I can count, right?
Me too, yeah.
Okay, but this one will dive 8 to 12 feet, all right? So we're using it on Leadcore today, and it's doing it exactly what we want it to do. We're getting it down there, okay? A little bit tighter wiggle. We switched over to this Bandit Walleye Shallow to get a tighter wiggle. Bandit Walleye Deep, okay, this one's gonna dive around 25 feet. It's an awesome lure. It's gonna be a little bit wider wobble, okay? Still got that same great rattle and 3 hooks. I mean, and man, I'll tell you what, you hook up with these lures. Last one I want to show you is brand new, okay? You're going to see a lot of this one. This one's really, really cool. This one is called the Generator. Now the Generator, what makes this one so cool is this is basically a Bandit Walleye Deep, but it's got 2 holes up in the top, and you can actually slide light sticks in there. So in those low light conditions, those cloudy conditions, those dirtier water conditions, you can light this lure up. So when it comes down to it, when you look at the Bandit lineup, if you're going to Erie, if you're going to Green Bay and you're gonna pull cranks, whatever it may be, this is the crank that most guys are pulling. It's the Bandit Walleye Deep or the Bandit Walleye Shallow. But let me tell you something, this new Generator now, you add that one into the mix and then fish them on some of these inland waters like what we're fishing here, and you're gonna whack fish. I mean, it's not just a Great Lakes bait. This is an awesome inland water bait. And I mean, it's getting it done for us today. It's a big fish bait on top of that. You know, you'll catch your eaters, but it's a big fish bait.
Absolutely it is.
Awesome lures right here, Bandits. Make sure you got some of them in your tackle trays. If you got some in your tackle trays, I guarantee you, you're gonna catch more fish.
Oh, there's one. Oh yeah.
Decent one, maybe?
You know what, he feels solid right now.
All right. That's what's always made trolling such a tactic tournament guys have always liked, but I'll tell you, whether I was guiding or tournament fishing, whatever it was, it's just the kind of deal where you can catch numbers of fish once you get dialed up. Look at that. I got one on my side here too, bud.
All right,
Let's see what you got, because this one's, wow, I think I got a good fish. Can you flip that one?
I'm good,
okay.
You go ahead.
All right. Look at that, it's the second time that's happened today. That's awesome. See, and there's an example of one that was coming in a little sideways, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
This feels like a, well, let's just say it feels like a good fish right now. But this is exactly what I was just talking about, you know, just coming through fish, covering ground, getting on them. Heck, I was just thinking about calling this the end of the run and driving back up and coming back through, and then all of a sudden, boom, 2 rods go. It just goes to show you that eventually, as you're coming through these fish, you find a pod that bites. And I mean, there's constant fish on the screen. When they get out in this basin, you got to remember, you're not always, when I say a pod, there may be 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, but they're kind of spread out. I mean, they're not right on top of each other. This isn't like June. Look at that, it's a big fish.
There you go.
Yep, it's another big fish. Feel the pressure?
Oh, you
so
don't
often
even know.
I'm doing this stuff myself, you know, and I gotta tell you, it is so nice to know I've got the net in somebody else's hand right now. Oh, except for this, don't miss it, brother. It's another big fish.
This is a good one, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring them to you here. Here we go, just scoop right underneath them. Got him.
Got him.
Oh, wow. Wait till you see this one.
This
is cool. Did he come unhooked in there? That's great. Look at this, another giant. That is awesome. That
nice
is
fish,
nothing less than awesome. One after another, man. That's what you can do, trolling bandits. I'm telling you, big fish baits. When I was tournament fishing, this was one of my go-tos right here, because I'll tell you what, this is the kind of stuff it catches. What a big, beautiful walleye. All right, we'll get you out of here. There she goes. Look at that. Whew, that's an awesome fish, man. You know, I still get so fired up every time I catch a big fish. Heart gets going a little bit. It's almost like deer hunting, man. Seeing a big buck. That's awesome.
Nope, there's a fish. Oh, yeah.
Decent one, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Thing about it when you're trolling cranks like this, sometimes these fish will get you hooked sideways. Sometimes they'll be coming straight at you. You know, that's just part of having 3 treble hooks down there. A lot of times you're not really sure what you have until you get it close to the boat. That looks like another good one, but man, I had one a little while ago that it got turned sideways on me because it had a couple hooks in it, and I thought I had a big fish all the way in, and it ended up just a peanut. So a lot of times you don't know exactly what you got until it's right on top of you. That looks like a decent one.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's cross our fingers, huh? How many feet you got to go?
126.
That's one of the nicest things too about using a line counter reel is you know where you're at as you're coming in. Ah, you're happy about that color change now. I gave him one of my favorite colors out here. I told him, here, throw this one on. I didn't give him the one that's been hot as a pistol on my side of the boat, but I gave him one that's been pretty doggone good for me over the years.
It did it for me.
Nice walleye. Beautiful fish. Another big one. Great fish, bud.
All right.
Dig that thing out of there. Let's get him unhooked and got him.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab
Okay,
the
yeah.
plier here.
Let's be careful here and not get hooked at the end of the day. What an awesome fish. Great way to wrap it up. Man, I'll tell you what, Leadcore and Bandits, pretty doggone deadly. Another great fish. Get out, pick yourself up some of these Bandits. There's a whole variety of different colors. There's different configurations, all kinds of different ways you can fish them. You can long line the walleye deeps. You can Leadcore the walleye shallows. And man, that new generator, it's something else. So get out, pick up some of these baits, get them out, get them in the water, soak them, and you know what you're gonna find out? Plenty of fish just like that one and what you've seen today that like to bite them.